homie Jam. What's up, bro?
Yo, man, we need to do a
Follow-up, dog. What do you think, man? I'm getting hit, man. All different sides, yo.
MadStrange Podcast, yo, we had to bring it back with the homie Raul Ragudo, a.k.a. Lil Ratt. We're here at MiraCosta College where this dude just finished graduating from here and giving the commencement speech. We get the opportunity to tap in with them and hear about his experience. Mannerisms, her characteristics, and then it's showing Tupac. And you're able to see Tupac in this other light because they're showing you his mom. Yeah. And it's showing man, Tupac was always this is who he was developed to be. Yeah. But he struggled with the fact of he was a son of a revolutionary Black Panther leader, and all that was in him.
You got this recording.
But then it's he got famous at a young age, and then he's dealing.
Was famous.
And then he's dealing with all of this pressure and all of these things that he encountered with fame. But at the same time, it was the whole plan was for him to be the leader of the new Black Panther Party. Yeah, that's what they were grooming him to be. But then it was he had the Black Panthers with him during that process, but it got to a point that no one could tell him nothing.
Tight.
They were Tupac, stop listening to everyone, bro.
That was
and then it was
bro.
The way it was even.
But he was. How old are you?
24.
He was your age.
He died. Yeah, he died.
So imagine being your age, having millions of dollars. And it's
I couldn't imagine being popping at 19.
You know what I mean? That's a lot of pressure.
The shit I was on at 19.
That's a lot of pressure, bro.
But the way he was pushing what turned him up, man, is his passion. He didn't. It didn't make him look immature or anything. He was really elevated on.
Are we rolling?
On this.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. So we were talking about his characters, his personalities, and one thing we was talking about is his poems, his real romantic side. Yeah. And I was yo, I'm feeling this. I already wrote my speech. Yeah. And I'm feeling yo.
Oh, so you watched that while you're writing your speech? You find inspiration.
That's cool.
I already wrote my speech, and I'm yo, man, I'm identifying with what Pac was in through this documentary, because he talked about his love experiences. He talked about him being rejected. He talked about those things and how it pushed him into a corner and he exploded. Yeah. And the dude really just got to really just talking about everything that was passionate. Yeah. And
he has a dope-ass quote where he says, he said, I can't guarantee I'm going to change the world, but I'm going to spark the mind of the person who will change the world. You know what I mean? And growing up, on Tupac, for me, I always would look at them okay, yeah, he sparked my mind. Ooh, you know what I mean? Bro. It's and I would always run with I'm gonna carry that flag.
That's so
you
dope.
Know what I mean?
We hear that in these higher ed places and spaces, man. And it's the process. Trust the process. And for the homie to come from the streets and say, trust this process, and I'm going to pass it on, for me and for us here, we trying to change the game now. Right. And want to be under our time, our watch. Yeah. And then when we don't see that get its fruits, kind of but for him, man, for him to say, yo, I'm going to give it to the next generation and carry that torch like you were saying. Yeah.
What other inspirations went into the speech? You say you had that one rocking. What other ones?
Bro, this speech was 15 minutes long. Let me go for it. When I saw the advertisement for the speech, I said I'm gonna get it. I knew it in my heart. I really did. I put it out there to say, if I get this, what am I gonna do with it? I know I'm gonna get it. So I fell into my wife. You should apply. You should get the speech. You should go for the speech. Okay, babe. And I'm hearing others on campus. You should go for it. And I'm yeah, okay. But I already knew, bro, in my heart. I don't want to say it like I had the ego or anything. Yeah. I just knew that in my heart I had something that was worth giving the community, and I prayed on it. I actually kind of sat on this and say, yo, give me this opportunity to let me speak what needs to be heard. Yeah. And I poured in my beginning, my relationships, I put everything. So I come from rap generation, that era of rapping. And we shoved all of our experiences in a short amount of time. And I did it in 15 minutes in this speech.
You had to like edit yourself and then send it to MiraCosta
So I did. I shot it to the peoples. I shot it to the board, the committee, and they said, "You got to break it down. It's too much."
Did it feel like 15 minutes to you?
No, I felt like
It did.
5.
That's
yeah.
what you feel.
But I was like, I was
15
engaged.
minutes, for sure.
Man, just that. I think that was the main reason we had to bring it back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because last time that, we got together to film a podcast, you were in this position of like talking about overcoming gangbanging, going to prison, overcoming addiction, and stepping into school, but really not knowing if this was going to be something that you were going to be able to have this victory lap. You know what I'm saying? And we're coming off this 24-hour like moment that, man, we just got to witness you almost accomplish what many people thought was impossible. You know what I'm saying? And based off of like, I went back and watched that interview. Yeah. There's parts of it where like, I know that you had hope that you would accomplish it and that like it was a dream of yours, but you were still speaking with like this uncertainty because you kind of probably didn't feel like it was possible yet. You know what I'm saying? But like, I'm here to tell you, bro, you've transcended, man.
Sure.
Like you have transcended the thought of like, man, I hope I can, to now I know I can. And with that being said, now like you have made the community, the city believe in you. And so now you're at a point where you've transcended where you can tell us this crazy dream and we're going to believe you're going to accomplish it. You know what I mean? Because now it's like we've seen you overcome like and take the biggest hurdle. You know what I mean? And so like it's a pleasure to be able to share this moment with you right now, bro. And right now when you walked in the room, I asked you how you feeling. And I said, no, you know what? Save it. Like, don't tell me. Save it for the cameras, bro. But how are you feeling, bro?
Man, bro, I am high off of life, off of what's happening. I'm in a daze. Things have been moving. I've been in motion.
For sure.
Man, yesterday's speech.
What was your day like yesterday, waking up, bro, knowing that you were about to
I didn't get
graduate?
No sleep.
Yeah.
I didn't get no sleep. I thought it was gonna be a lot smoother. My mom's been in subacute care for the last year, and I kind of actually put that away. Trying to grind through this end times, you know what I mean? I didn't want to get too wrapped up in emotions, and I do have a lot of emotions. Believe it or not, we buried my aunt, my last sibling. We buried my grandmother's last sister yesterday, the day of graduation.
Falco.
Damn, in the morning?
Yeah, bro. This was some things that I was embracing yesterday.
Here in Oceanside?
No, in Carson.
Okay,
in Torrance.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was tough because so we had rehearsal. I had rehearsal on the field. The professor, the doctor, Dr. Sunny, she sat right there in the front with this Hawaiian hat on. It looked like my auntie. She looked like my auntie Gladys.
This is Thursday.
This is Thursday.
The day before graduation.
Day before graduation.
Yeah.
We're out there. And I'm supposed to actually go to Carson after rehearsal to check in, do the whole viewing with the family out there, and then bail back, come back, you know what I'm saying? Knocking out finals. I'm like got one foot in University of Hawaii, and there's things that's just happening. And so at this rehearsal at our little practice on the field, I'm seeing a lady that resembles my aunt, bro. Look like this Hawaiian lady. And I'm like, yo, this isn't the time. I don't want to get emotional.
You feel me?
I got to get to L.A. and, you know, let's get through this. And I just was at peace at that moment that my family was here somewhere, somehow, some way. And it was shining from this lady, man. This doctor, the #1 in the campus, you feel me?
She's the president of school.
Yeah, president of the campus.
That's a testament, bro. Like, so many people, majority of probably everybody there had no idea you was going through all that, man. And you feel me? To be able to pull it out, it's crazy.
So you leave there, you go to Carson after the rehearsal?
I didn't. I actually had to weigh out that option. I had to, those are the balances. Those are the things I had to kind of consider. What am I going to do here? How am I going to do this? So I reached out to L.A. and says, yo, fam, this is what's happening. Don't stress, cousin. Do your thing. Congratulations. So that was comforting, you know, that I was in a good space, that I can go forward with this graduation of ours.
Yeah.
And I got to put that behind me, keep it in thought, keep it in prayer, and keep it pushing, you know what I'm saying? So that was around 6 p.m., you know what I'm saying? And now I'm just skating. I'm just cool. I'm looking at my classes, seeing if things is, bro, I hit 3 A's.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you found out before that?
Bro, I'm looking up my things, bro. I'm like, you know, okay, looking up Canvas. All right, there goes an A. Cool.
Bro, I remember being in school. I haven't been in school in a minute, but I remember being in school, bro, and like after I take my finals, I'm like checking. Like, damn, what's my grade? Damn, what's my grade? Damn, what's my grade? So I know what you mean. But you know what's crazy, bro, with that, what you mean, like what you saying that? Because last time we had met, you were on academic probation. You know what I mean? And so like that was 2 years ago.
Yeah, bro.
And you were talking about like, bro, I don't know like if I'm gonna be able to pull this off. Because you said you have been on academic probation twice.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I'm saying? And here you are, like the day before or the day of that you're about to graduate, like with 3 A's and the commencement speaker.
Yeah.
Like
Lit.
out of everyone at graduation yesterday, you are like giving the main speech.
Bro, I stood up when they said president's list too.
Talking about it. Yeah.
You know.
I want to hear about the struggles of like actually buckling down and getting your homework done. Like, let alone you got actual like daddy duties and you feel me, grown man bills to pay. Like, tell me about the academic struggles and you feel me, being able to pull yourself out of academic probation to get to where you are now.
Man, that's right. You know, being in academics, you had to show up, show out.
Yeah.
And then get blessed with the financials and you know, get grounded in here. So I had to show that I was going to work hard, you know, and coming with family and all of these other issues that I have at home. Not that they're issues, but
It's life.
Yeah.
Life, yeah.
So, you know what? One thing is that I was on fire with wanting to learn. I was ready just to put all of it in, put my whole brain into it and just turn up, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm already that kind of brainiac dude. That's the kind of dude I am, I guess. Let me say this. I think, I don't know, I just got lost right now. I did.
I feel like you're naturally smart,
Yeah.
and then your thirst for knowledge kind of like carried you through like that passion type. So seem what it sounded like.
My academic probation, it was tough in the beginning because I didn't know if I was gonna, you know, pull up and show up, and here I am dealing with these insecurities of being an old dude going inside.
Talk about it.
You know what I'm saying? Being around young students, there was all kinds of intimidations. So when I got into class, I just turned all of that off.
Yeah.
I turned it all off. I was there to get the job done. And that's what I really focused on, recognizing that this was a job, that I had to come in and I had to stay on point and get in with the community. And that means getting in with financial aid, getting in with certain programs that would help me build. And if I wouldn't have, then I would have probably been on still academic probation, bro.
Real quick, like, I've been in the classroom setting with you before and have heard some of like the eloquent insights that you have to offer, like depending on what the topic is and what have you. Obviously, coming from commencement speaker, I want to hear your inspiration of how you became such a beautiful storyteller in a way, like, you know what I'm saying?
Bro, when I was in rehab, this was back in 2007, and I talked about my cousin Benji, one of my little videos on YouTube. I talked about my cousin Benji, and a lady was there who was part of Toastmasters, and she says, "You have a gift." And I go, "You sound like my dad. My dad told me the same thing." And I just fell into what Toastmasters is all about, speaking publicly, learning how to say things. You know, I can't even say shit right now, okay? But give me the opportunity when I'm on fire for something, man, I just start spilling.
Yeah, for sure.
I really do.
And it bleeds. Like, you feel me? The ism, it bleeds through, for sure.
And so I get turned up by my passion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all there. Like right now, I'm nervous, bro.
Shoot,
For
we just
real
talking-
though, it's like
without the camera, we talking game though.
You know what's crazy, man? Because like you said come in here to this environment. Like right now we're in the classroom, right? And you said, man, it was kind of like it provided some form of anxiety or like insecurity, right? But this is coming from someone that has been on the yard. Like last time that we met, you talked about that process of like getting to Donovan.
Okay.
And you said you were on the 3 yard, right? 11 building, right? So like getting there and trying to find where your people were.
Yeah.
And at that time, it was your first time being there. Like, I know that's a different level of emotions, but man, being on a college campus is hella intimidating. You know what I mean? Especially,
Yeah, let's run that because that's important to me. College spaces wasn't, this was foreign to the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? We lived right there.
Right across the street. Right across the street. Yeah,
we lived right over there. And this was like, all heaven. You know what I mean? It was almost untouchable. And for us in the hood, man, this wasn't our space. This is what we weren't looking forward to this. We were looking forward to prison. That was our education. We knew that was a guarantee. We knew that if we went to these places like Juvenile Hall, Campo, and then make it to YA, you can tell that story and bring it to the hood and give you credit.
Type shit.
You know what I'm saying? How far you've gone in the system, you can bring that to the hood and be like, yo, I made it all to the Y. Oh, okay. Well, I made it to Juvenile Hall. It gives you something, okay? And then when you start thinking about, okay, after the Y, where are you going now? Federal prison,
You feel me?
going to state. Those were places I worked for. I want to be honest. I worked to get to prison. I went to, in my speech, I talked about hitting all the county jails because I wanted it, bro. I knew that was credit for me to take back to the set. And then when I got to say, hey, I made it to all the camps, I got to take that back. So it was credit. It was building up my act, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then after a while, it was like wasted, not that it was wasted time. It was time, it was valid game, but it was applying to nothing.
Type shit.
You feel me? It wasn't going anywhere. I could take all of that prison. Man, you get to prison, you really start learning, what people's creativities, what they have. So there are real poets in there. There's real artists in there. There's real musicians in prison. These guys who spent a lot of time trying to figure things out are realizing, dang, I can't do this on the outs. I got to do it here. And that's sad. You know what I mean? And I'm going on a tangent. That's
no, man, but that's key, man. So like the last time that we talked, you talked a little bit about like your prison, experiences and stuff, man. And one of my cousins hit me up, and he was like, "Yo, is that Lil Ratt from the set?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Man, I did time with him." You know what I mean? That's my cousin from the East Side. And so he had hit me up and said that when I said, Villain.
Okay,
that's my cousin. Yeah. So we came up together, and he told me, he's like, man, that's a good dude, man. But he was proud to hear your story and watch the podcast and listen to where you were mentally at that time, because now you're a star now. On this campus, you're gonna forever be like an alumni star of this campus. There's only so many commencement speakers who have ever graced the stage and given the opportunity to give that speech, in the history of the school, and you're one of them now. So you know what I mean? But at that time, it was just where your mindset was, that he was like, oh, man, that's dope to see him, being in a good space.
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure in the beginning with how this was going to work out. You know what I'm saying? Academic probation and, where am I going to go with my education? Like I said, prison was what I can take back to
that was the goal.
Yeah, that was the goal.
That was the goal, yeah.
Now I'm on a new road. It's like, what am I going to do with this? I got it. I'm going to take it to food disparities. Being a chef, coming up and elevating myself in sobriety. I became a musician. I became, a chef, a father. I became all of these things. And now I needed a little bit of backup.
Yeah.
I needed something to kind of actually make sense of it all. Yeah. And that was education. I didn't think it was going to take me down this rabbit hole, though.
I've been to this, though, because I'm curious. As a scholar, as a fellow scholar, like, you got a whole family, but then you got accepted to UAs. How's that transition going? How's that transition going to transition?
Bro, check this out. So this is the work. After here, what am I going to do? You know what I'm saying? What am I going to do? So it's remote. I found a program through University of Hawaii that's allowing me to do it online. and it lines up with exactly what I want to do. It's in leadership, public administration.
And your peoples are from Hawaii, right? Are they from the Big Island? Are they from the Oahu?
Yeah, they actually we come. It goes back to even Maui.
Yeah.
The family lineage follows all the way back to Maui, but I got residency, being that I have blood, so that knocked a lot of Kala down, bro. My funds dropped. That knocked
That's
about
dope.
17 on.
Because that's where your mom's from, right? Your mom's family's from Hawaii. Isn't that crazy, bro? Like they came because your dad came from Mexico, right? And your grandparents from his side came from the Philippines. He's Filipino Mexican, and then your mom's side came from Hawaii. You're born here in Oceanside, and like. What the military brought them, or like them seeking a better life. But when you get here, you're growing up in like Tri-City, the East, because you grew up in the East Side, then you moved to Tri-City, and your goal is like to get to CDCR.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Then now, like as you have reclaimed your life, like you're going back to where your people are from, at the University of Hawaii, which is like an institution of growth. You know what I mean? It's just like when I say you've transcended, bro, it's like you are now on this path that it's like. Man, it's a path of like inspiration, but it's a path of leadership. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so I didn't even know that's something that you were pursuing as far as with your academics. So it's like that's dope to hear.
Man, I prayed. I've actually have gone through my whole life and saying you're a leader, and you're a natural leader. And till today, I get told that I'm a leader, and I just ask, how can I be of service? And I guess this whole identity, what is it called?
Imposter?
Yeah.
Imposter syndrome? No.
Imposter syndrome, but the personality check, I'll check that right there.
Like the personality test and stuff?
The personality test.
Yeah.
You start finding little things out that kind of click with you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, maybe I am. And then you're put in a position where you're just needing to lead, and I'm comfortable with doing that. I really am comfortable with doing that. So I looked it up. I looked up how can I develop this craft? Because now I knocked out all of my requirements. That was part of the speech, right?
Yeah.
Knocked out all of my requirements. Now it's time to develop our real, our craft, our real desired subjects. And me just wanting to lead and kind of just give somebody hope on where I've come from, and that they can resonate and say, yo, I got action too. Man, after the speech, man, there's about like a dozen, I swear, bro, a few just pulling me. Thank you, can I talk? I was like, yes. And those guys were the ones that mattered, not the people that I knew.
Yeah.
Okay? It's the ones that didn't know me.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to hear what they were thinking.
Yeah.
And those guys actually took most of my time after my speech.
That's dope.
Hearing from them like, I was a drug addict too, and and I'm looking at them, and they're like hanging on like, you're coming back, right? Yes, I might be coming back. So they want me to say it for them.
Yeah.
Or even having dinner with my sister last night. She's just interested, this our mature community.
Yeah.
Really, how did you really do it?
The journey.
You did it in 2 years, though.
Yeah.
And how did you do it in 2 years with where you come from?
Can I ask you a question, man? When you were in prison, because you were what, like 21, 20?
Yeah, bro.
Prison? Like, given, that space, at what point, because sometimes it takes a while for a dream to become a reality, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. When did you start having, when did your goals transition from, man, I'm trying to get to prison to, okay, I want to pursue something else with my life. I have a purpose for my life. Did that happen in prison, or did that happen after you came home and got clean? Mm-hmm. When did you start having dreams of making this become a reality?
I was dusted. I was so burnt out on my addiction, and I lost my family. I lost so many people, and I was hurting physically, mentally, emotionally hurt. I could have been, dead at that moment, and I wouldn't even know. So when I hit that place right there, I checked with one dude, man. He's from the Bay. I said, bro, I'm about to check out.
Is it in prison?
No, this was on the streets.
Okay.
Prison is a bed, homie. You can make it. You can make it in the joint. You know what I mean? You can live it up with your homies, get with a cellie, and maybe But when you're homeless on the streets, nothing's coming. Your family's in the house across the street, and you can't even walk in. That hurts.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? When you see your kids turn their back on you on the streets, you have protection from that. But when you see it in your face, man, you see your family and your peoples just turn their back, it's like, man, I'm really ready to check out then. I'm ready to do this. And I got with one dude, man, from the Bay, and he says, you can hit the lottery, man, and it'll be all good. And I said, it would be, huh? It would be, but what is I can't even get into a lottery ticket. So I had to make my lottery, bro. Real talk. I had to make that happen, and that was in my dreams. That was the ultimate, like I knew that I can pay for that and make it. And when it just clicked with me, like, yeah, if I won the lottery, well, shit, I got the lottery right now, homie.
Of life.
Yeah, I got action at the lottery right now. Okay, cool. And that's what turned it around right there and then. Some dude we was shooting dope together. He was actually on the verge of being kicked out himself. And I was ready to end it with this dude I didn't even know me.
Where were you at, like physically?
In the Biddy. I was in Tri-City, man.
Yeah.
And,
What year was this?
This was in 2013. This was in right before. God, I don't know. Honestly, it's been a while.
That's good.
Yeah, right. I know, but I have to say
thing to know.
My biggest, my longest period in the BIS was around 05 to 07.
Crazy thing is, man, like
he was around there.
We're across the street from literally, man, like from the parks where you were like active in. You know what I mean? And like literally, physically, right now, MiraCosta is located like around the corner from the places that you were active in.
That's the nearest hood.
The places that you were shooting up, all of that. And you know what I mean, found a place here that's now allowed you to like, this place has created, or not this place, but you use this as a tool to create a bridge for you to connect you to the rest of the world. Yeah. And like right down the street from your neighborhood, you were having more of an impact on this city and the people from this area, utilizing this tool, like to the point that you can give a speech in front of thousands of people, because there were thousands of people there yesterday, and they want to talk to you afterwards because you said something to them. They didn't go to watch you graduate. They got introduced to you when you got on that stage. They're there to watch someone else graduate, but they want to talk to you because you said something that sparked something in them, you know, and this is right down the street from your hood.
Bro, that was a
hometown hero.
That was a perfect opportunity on the stage, right?
Yeah.
I got to do that. But homie, I took it to the streets. I took it to the field.
Neighborhood.
Yeah, I pulled up on 7-Eleven, homie, when they were active. You know what I'm saying? I hit the turf.
Yeah.
When, that's the hard part. Is like how could you get them on their own ground and build this bridge? And that's the hard part. Even for me, I had to check in with the wifey, like, babe, I'm gonna hit the hood, and you know.
But you are the bridge now. You know what I'm saying? Because the people that you came up with, the people from your neighborhood, you're the bridge now for them. You know what I mean?
Sure.
You know what I mean? You become a bridge for your neighborhood, where it's like, look, man, this is the process. The process is different for everybody else, but you're a living testament that it's possible. You know what I'm saying? You're an inspiration, but also through this journey, you've gained tools that it's like, yo, I got the ingredients to get you to somewhere if you apply X, Y, and Z. And man, you've become that bridge now, bro.
Bro, I just make it
major.
look good, bro. No, I'm well, I mean, again, it's a community thing, Jimmy.
For sure.
For reals for you too, bro. Honestly, meeting them 2 years ago, it gave me momentum to know that there is a pace that I had to stay with. I had to get with, like thinking about you and being a strong street, being out there in the public, Valley Joe. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Talk about it.
You guys are all out, man. This Stormy right here, check this out, man. Spooning. That is in '97, bro. That's the homie Coach Taps for OPW, and now we're we're reputables in the city, bro.
In a different light.
In a different light.
Yeah.
And I got
That's what it's all about,
bro.
man.
I said, yo, bro. This is over 20 years ago, bro.
Right.
I got a Polaroid of us on the 3-yard.
You know what's crazy? That picture, if you would have had it when you came home, you would have violated for having that picture.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, it's crazy. But now you can carry that with you, not on paperwork, not on anything. And it's like, no, man, this is a testament to who I've become.
So it's you guys, man, that are helping me build my legacy.
Yeah.
Real talk. I mean, it takes a nation. It takes a village.
Takes a village for sure.
You show people they can come here and they can find a home, man. You said something dope yesterday in your speech. You said when we were kids, we used to skate here. We didn't feel like we belonged here, but we used to skate here. Man, I used to come here and use the fields here to play football. I used to play basketball here. Yeah. I got arrested for my first time on right here, bro. Yeah. I was like in 2nd grade, and we went up in the student store, and like we were stealing like the Magnum markers and like candy and stuff. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna. I filled up my backpack and we walked out because we rode our bikes here and we went in the student store and like the security guard came and grabbed me. MiraCosta police put me in handcuffs, took me home, bro.
In 2nd grade, man?
2nd grade, bro. I was 8 years old, bro. And so, but we used to this was like a playground. You know what I mean? Like come here and then dip. Yeah. And I even remember like coming from the mall or coming from downtown and coming home on the 302, and like the bus passes by here, but you kind of feel like. Yeah, I know how close it is. Yeah, but I'm never like gonna find a place here. This place felt like another world.
I be forgetting you a bitty boy too, huh?
Yeah, man. Yeah, born and raised, and so it's just like, for me, it's like what you accomplished yesterday, bro. Like we don't have a Hall of Fame, but if we had a Hall of Fame, you're on it now, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, and to me, it's just like. Yeah, bro, hella inspiring, bro. Listening to your speech yesterday, it didn't feel like 15 minutes, bro.
Hell no.
Like, and I saw how much you connected with the people, and I called Raul before we went up there. I was like, bro, don't worry about the professors. Don't worry about what anyone at MiraCosta thinks about what you got to say. I said, there's somebody here today that's got to hear what you got to say.
You feel me?
And like, and you did that, bro.
Yeah, man.
Like you did that.
The preparation was there for sure.
That 15 minutes, I actually shrunk it to 5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. I grew up in talking like this in AA meetings, NA meetings. So that's where I got my first jump and talking about my experience, strength, and hope. And for the first 3 minutes, you want to say everything, and that's the message. After, when you get into 5 minutes, you start talking about yourself. That's the kind of the rules or the law in speaking in meetings. But I knew that this was my opportunity to give it and bring it. And so that's what I did, man. I condensed 15 minutes, man, into 5 minutes of pure game. Me, bro. Yeah. That was all me. Like, I really focused on every single sentence. For sure. Everything, even if you come down to the part where it says, be radical all the time. Yeah. Radical all the time is an acronym, bro. Mm-hmm. You feel me? So it's an acronym for RAT. RATT.
Come on.
Okay? Be radical all the time. Mean, man, be you. Be 100 stack all the way across the board.
That's so big.
Okay?
That's so big. And you said it with some ism, too. I remember you said, like, you feel me?
Bro, the set gave me rat. You know what I'm saying? Be radical all the time. Radical, okay? I come in here and I adopt from my mentor, Carson Cat, bro. She from Carson. She a little Latina girl, man, that you wouldn't even expect that she got the game, Yeah. But she came to me and she broke me down, bro. I cried, I cheered, I did all of this with her, and she gave me that acronym again on her own whim, on her just flying through.
But even for you to get the name Lil Ratt, that was a lot for your neighborhood, given like who Ratt was within the set.
Let's
right?
get into it.
Can you see it though? Can you see where it transcends though? Yeah. It comes from the hood, and then I'm here being me because I talk about my romantic personality. I bring it all. I'm not hiding back anything. Yeah. I can be corny. I can be loving. I can be hard, all of that, and it gives something for people to work with.
That transition is so important, bro. Now that the game is going away from gangbanging culture, I believe that this generation, my generation, the generations beneath me, gangbanging culture is dying. There's so much other stuff to be doing than gangbanging. But with OGs like you who come, you feel me, really from the K's, like Lil Ratt, like motherfuckers that really around, like, know that name carry weight. So then for you to transition from being a, you feel me, cutthroat gangster to giving commencement speeches and, you feel me, making shit shake in the community, like, that's what it's all about. That's what we here to do, man. That's beautiful.
I took all of them hits. I took the losses in that.
Yeah.
I mean, I was explaining to the homie earlier, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the gang is always going to be a part of me. I mean, let me elaborate that. You know what I mean? Being from the K's is always going to be, it's actually developed me, the most of me.
Yeah.
The most of me. My culture had been taught by my family and all of these things I pick up along the way. But, you know, when I went to prison under the K's, you know, it was for me. The K's didn't suffer. The gang didn't. Raul suffered.
Your family suffered.
Yeah, my family suffered.
Yeah.
My people suffered. And then I started looking at it like, dude, okay, I got to turn this around. I can't throw it away. What did you gain out of it?
Right.
Well, I gained a lot of hurt. I gained a lot of my family hurt. There's a lot of things that, it's all losses. They're all losses. But out of those losses, I turned them into wins, bro, here.
Feel me?
That's what I did do. I turned it around. I actually applied all of my losses to sociology, to math, to statistics, to ethics and race. Yeah, man, I applied all of my losses on me, and I bring it to the campus, and it let me develop just this craft of helping.
In regards for the poly community, man, because I know you're a leader in that space too, like locally and on this campus. Like, what's the message you want to send to the poly community as well? Like, as far as like pursuing college, pursuing higher education, and pursuing their dreams. Because I got junior, you know what I'm saying? And so it's like, to us, junior sale is like, you know, the definition of success. And everyone in Oceanside is proud that junior sale is from here. But a lot of times we look at, like, even myself, bro, like there was two ways that you were going to get out of Oceanside. Like, either it's going to be through, you're going to get arraigned at county, and you're going to leave, or maybe you'll be one of the lucky ones that gets a scholarship and is able to go to college. But I mean, able to go to college through sports.
Yeah.
But you taking this route, it's like you're going to University of Hawaii because of what you were able to accomplish and apply here. Like, what do you think this means for, like, our local, poly community?
Man, I like the way Tane brings it, man. He has a strong passion when he speaks in these spaces. And I follow your lead, bro. I really do, talking about that it's not sports. It's not just sports that'll get you some action here at MiraCosta or in any college, you know. Stepping out of that, you know, you can be you, not what they want you to be, because what they want you to be is a athletic sports team player for the camp. And I think that is just a corner of most Polynesians when we have a lot of us, we have other things in us.
Yeah.
For me, I'm going to come with my cooking, with my food, and with you know what I mean? There's others who wants to be in criminal justice. There's others that want to be in botanists, you know.
STEM majors, all that.
STEM majors,
man.
you know, they're really turning up with, you know, being science and math majors.
Yeah.
And that is amazing, because I just learned this in our Soc 250. Samoan women are the leading educators in the poly community. That just turns me up, bro, because when I think about that, I think about they're not in here on scholarship. I mean, on
athletic
scholarships. Yeah. They're in here to use their brains, and that even for a woman and for a poly woman, you can only imagine that is tough for just them. Period. To step outside of the home, because they're known to be just staying in the home.
You feel me?
Doing the fails and all of that stuff, making sure things is taken care of. It. So them to get in spaces like this is much courage, much. Yeah. So I don't know. It's just that it's shifting. It's shifting.
Yeah, my little ism, man, and I appreciate you for showing love on that. Is it's so ingrained in our culture to be sports. Like, we don't even get asked growing up, do you want to play football? It's, what position are you playing? You feel me? And like, I'm not trying to take that point down, but like, we look at Junior Seau as the GOAT, and he is. But there's polys that have doctorate degrees that don't get half of the amount of love that they should and they deserve. And like, that just goes to the mantra of it, like, oh, you go out and play football and you go to the Hall of Fame, like, oh, you the best mother lover to ever come out the city. But like, I want to shift this generation's focus to being more intellectual, to where I feel like after we graduate high school, motherfuckers either want us to be playing sports or working 9 to 5, like construction, manual labor. Like, we're looked at for our bodies. We're not looked at for what our intellect has to offer. And I want to transfer this generation's focus of being more intellectual. Like, I want y'all running the construction companies, telling them fools what to do, you feel me, and making them waste their bodies away while you feel me, sitting up high in an air-conditioned office. Like, but that's just not how we're programmed. So it comes with unlearning, like, the culture. Like, that's just how we're bred. Like, it's a sad reality, but you know what I mean. That's the fight that we have in our generation and in front of us at the moment. So
it is a sacrifice too, because a lot of the times, you know, you're separated from your family and you're making all this money, just like that. You can get hurt and it's all done.
Yeah,
and that's the roll of the dice that I think that our people should consider strongly, because that's where we're at. Bro, the game isn't just playing the game anymore. They're knocking heads off.
You feel me?
But I think a lot of times, man, in spaces, like, you got to change the paradigm and transcend. And that's what I mentioned, like, what you're doing and what you have been walking out is, like, a lot of times, man, you got to see someone else do it from your neighborhood. You got to see someone else do it in your family. You know what I mean? Because when I was in this space here, I was in this classroom. You know what I mean? Like, 14 years ago, and at that time, there was no one in my family who had ever graduated from college. You know what I'm saying? And we had females in my family that were pursuing it, but we didn't have a graduate yet. You know what I mean? I ended up becoming the first male in my family to graduate. My sister became the first person. My younger sister became the first person in our family to graduate from college. But, man, since then, I can't even tell you how many of my cousins have gone on who watched us because we made it become the norm in our family.
There it is.
You know what I'm saying? So we normalize, like, higher education, and that's what you guys are doing. People have to be able to see it, because prior to me graduating, even coming up, bro, I didn't know anyone that looked like me or that, you know, that looked like anyone in my neighborhood that had gone on to college. Yeah. So how can I possibly, like, look at MiraCosta as, like, as an avenue to success or a different life when I didn't know anyone that had gone to MiraCosta and succeeded? I kind of looked at it and I was like, yeah, take the 302 through there, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
right.
So it's just like you guys doing that makes it feel like it's possible for others, you know what I'm saying? So, like, if that's what you've created, just graduate, not just because, man, graduating from MiraCosta was the hardest thing I've ever accomplished. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Boy.
But when you graduate from University of Hawaii, like, imagine the impact that's going to have, like, you know, with, you know, the rest of the community. And now we all expect you to.
I know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because now there's an
I know.
expectation there, like, you know what I mean? Because you made us believe.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's like there's power in that, bro. You said something too, man, that you mentioned that, like, you had a family member that you know, they had a funeral service the same time you graduated. Prior to you working out your sobriety, like, that's probably something that would have set you back in the days.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But, like, who you are now, and I think that was a bigger accomplishment. You mentioned yesterday during your speech that you've been sober, I think, for 14 plus years?
14 plus,
yeah. And so, like, being able to deal with a heartbreak like that and then deal with something that probably brings so much anxiety and stress of giving a speech in front of thousands of people and not reverting back to, like, using to help you get through that moment, but, like, even, like, you know, tapping into, like, who you are and what your purpose is, like.
Good looking on that one.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
That's important, because those things happen a lot. You know, those kind of scenarios happen where you run, you know, you fight or you flight, you know what I mean? And my grandmother, let me run this. God, I don't get emotional on that one. Yeah, I would run, bro. Yesterday was intense, and sometimes I do get with my wife. I get with my wife and I just tell her, babe, I'm not even gonna run this, man.
Yeah.
I'm just in a hole. I want to run to a hole. I don't want to, you know. I know that if I sit still for long, or if I, God, that's a hard one to think about, man, because I'm all wrapped up in my emotions on that one.
But I just commend you, Doug, because you stepped into that. You know what I mean? And you, in a time of, like, of hurt, you stepped into a space and gave other people inspiration.
That's
you know,
beautiful.
and we caught a moment when Jayden, Andres, and I were at the graduation. I think it was your dad. I'm not sure if it was, but you took off your cap and you hugged a man. I don't know who it is. It could have been I don't know who it was, but man, you started crying, and he was crying, and you guys just were looking at each other. And were they coming from the service? Did they go to the service?
So my aunt had passed away on the 4th, and my cousin reached out and said, "Hey, we're burying my grandmother on these dates, the 25th and the 26th." And I'm like, bro, those are my commencement rehearsal. And commencement day, I'm giving, a speech that day. And here it is, the last sibling alive of my grandmother. And I'm like in this conflict of, dude, throw in the towel, what do I do? I just want to run from it because it's a lot of pressure at this moment, And I just had to kind of just gather and sit back and see what was really important. And knowing that I wasn't going to go back to drugs and alcohol, bro. Yeah, that right there is it's a temporary solution, bro.
Who was that you were hugging?
That was my father.
Okay.
This was hard too, man, because my mom, she's in in acute care, and my dad just wanted to have his wife with him sharing this moment, with their son graduating. And so I knew that it was going to be emotional between both of us. And I just had to hold it together and say, "Hey, Dad, you know what? We're doing this now. We're doing this together. You're in with me. Let's go." And it was hard. It was hard because we cried right there, bro.
What did he say to you?
He said, "I loved you, bro." He said that he wishes that that your mom would have been here. He said, "I wish your mom would have been here to see this." My mom's not gone, bro. That's the hard thing about it. My mom is in a vegetative state, keeping it 100. So I live with this. I live with knowing that my mom is not here but here. And I'm in this limbo area. And it's been with me through my whole time here at MiraCosta. And just trudging along that, bro, was hard. And here I am at the end, and with my dad, and I'm like, "Dad, I'm still pushing. Still pushing, man, And he just embraced me. We just love, and he says, "Man, keep going, don't stop." There's no. What he was really telling me, he goes, "There's no stopping you, my boy." That's what he said. He goes, "There's no stopping you. You keep going." And it wasn't that he was just giving me a push to say keep going. He just says that time isn't happening. You just keep going. Just keep doing you. Like it. I'm not gonna sit around. We're not gonna wait for anybody to jump in and say, "Hey, Raul, I'm here," or anything. It was just
Testament, man.
That must have meant so
Testament
much,
to the
man.
big homie.
Because like in reality, based on what you just shared with us, like you took your family through a lot. They went on this journey with you, from like you being active from the set and everything that brought, and then going to prison, which your family probably felt the most. You know what I mean? And you come back and you're battling through addiction to the point that you can't live. You can't even go to their home anymore.
Good over there, yeah.
And here you are giving them this special moment for everyone to experience, witness, and I'm sure they were probably going through their own emotions as you're up there giving the speech. And you've provided this like unforgettable moment for your entire family and the next generations to come. Yeah. It's like, man, it's so beautiful and inspiring and powerful, man.
I just want to give a shout out to you and then the MadStrange team for like shedding light on this story, because this story is important, man. Like when you really bring it down to brass tacks, like zero to hero, you feel me? Hometown hero type. Yeah. But before we wrap up, I want to get into the community advocacy game real quick, because you obviously, everybody from us I know, you feel me, you one of them ones. We getting into it. I'm a young and inspiring. I wouldn't even say I'm there yet, you feel me? I'm still trying to get in. Just the inspiration and what goes into inspiring both of you guys in your community leadership like journeys.
Yeah, man, I think a lot of it is just coming like where we came from, bro. Like growing up in Tri-City, like I grew up, I was born in the 80s, And during that time, like John Landis Park was like a KCB park. Like that's what it was. Like everyone knew that, right? Like they had the park. And then from that, you know, people get arrested and, you know, or people start going away. Like it became, you know, Tri-City Thunder Hills had it, and then Vista Homeboys had it, and then watching this new generation with like new neighborhoods taking that park. And what I see is, you know, like our communities not receiving the resources and services to help navigate our black and brown kids in these neighborhoods to have a better chance at life. You know what I'm saying? And when I mean by that is like, and I've said this plenty of times, like you keep seeing new neighborhoods take that park, but they're all growing up in the same neighborhood. You know what I mean? They're just identifying as something else instead of us finding purpose in something that's going to give us life and not send us up the street. Because Tri-City's unique, man. Like we're sandwiched in between Eternal Hills and Vista County. We got MiraCosta right here, but none of us think that that's a place that we can take. Why? You know what I'm saying? And so like a lot of my activism was geared towards like my experiences and trying to give, once I got activated and came to MiraCosta and was able to use this as a tool, it became like, how can I be a bridge for those, you know, in the community, but also how can we bring resources to these neighborhoods to help families deal with poverty, to help families deal with trauma, to help families deal with like not knowing how to help their kids. You know what I mean? Because a lot of it is coming from like immigrant families who come here with the survival mode. Their kids are born here and their kids don't know how to navigate this space. You know what I'm saying? And so like for me, it's always been like, how can I remain in the community, listen to what the needs are, and try to bring the resources to help the families, each neighborhood. You know what I mean? It's not just Tri-City. It's the Valley. It's the East Side. It's Center Street. It's the Mid. Like, it's the same, man. Like, they're all going through it, you know? And, yeah.
Everybody's going through it, but I ain't gonna lie. I'm trying to, like, in my own community advocacy, like, lane, I'm trying to get back to the Valley, man. And, like, y'all are bitty boys. Like, I feel like with your journey, you like, if you're doing the cooking thing, man, doing like a turkey drive in the hood, like, you know, that's real, like, hometown hero. But I'm not trying to say that that's the only way out, because like, you definitely right, like, it should be the whole town, but man,
But
like,
that's where you
really stepping in your neighborhood.
At
like,
the same time, it's like, you know, for me, man, like a lot of the work that I first started doing, it wasn't in Tri-City.
You was at Libby.
I was in Libby, bro. And a lot of that came because it's like I got the opportunity to run the after school program there. And being there, man, immediately, bro, I was there for like 3-4 days. A shooting pops off, kids from the program get shot. And it's like, it brought me back to like when my homies were getting shot. And just knowing what that does to like individuals, man, like when you're 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, whatever, your homie gets shot or someone you know gets shot.
It's on.
Yeah, man, it's like you get activated in a different way because you don't know how to funnel those emotions. And so like being in that space was so critical for me, and I fell in love with Libby, man. Like that to me, like I've adopted it as second like home. As a second home. Sure. Like I love Libby Lake, you know. But the experiences that I got there during that time and the things that we were able to do for the community, I was like, oh, okay, like this is something that that I've learned, that now I know how to like bring resources to other neighborhoods in Oceanside. You know what I mean? And so it's like, obviously I'm from here, like the Tri-City area, so like it's always, you know, a part of me. But it's about the entire city, man, because we got a lot of people that are born and raised in the Valley, but now live in Tri-City because that's the cheapest place, not the cheapest, but it's one of the most affordable places to live. Like a lot of people are coming to Tri-City because it's like, man, people are getting priced out of the East Side. They're getting priced out of Center Street.
You know? Think about it like that, too. I mean, we have these pillars in our community. Jimmy, Valley Joe, Coach Taps, me. I can say that I'm a
for sure.
Yeah. And you know what? I hold a corner down. That's the Betty. Valley got Joe, got the, you know what I mean? But when we come together, man, this is all Oceanside. We don't want to represent just the corner.
Right.
We want to represent the whole city. And that's what I believe that I think we need to get away from the pocket and actually say, yeah, that was part of me. That's where I gained this Oceanside game from. I gained it from the Valley. I gained it from the East Side. But it's still all on an elevating level. You know
I hear you for sure.
And that's, I think, where we're at. And you're there, bro. You're straight up. You don't even know it.
I'm on the way for sure. On my soul, I am.
That's why you're here right now,
That's
bro.
why.
Feel me?
That's why
for
you're
sure.
here right now.
I'm grateful. I got one before we wrap up, man. When you announcing your candidacy, we need that mayor, Jimmy
man.
Figueroa.
Yeah, so 2024, I'm running for city council.
Talk about it.
District,
That's major,
man.
Oh, yes, sir.
District 3, I've already filed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, man, it's like that was
Bro, I just got chills. No cap.
yeah,
Like,
man. And so like I think a lot of it in the work that we were doing at Libby, a lot of times you're doing all this work just to get 3 votes, right? Because it's like the mayor has a vote and then there's 4 city council members. They each have a vote. In order to get anything passed in the city, this is how the resorts got built. This is how anything gets done in the city. You need 3 out of the 5 votes. You need a majority vote to get anything passed. And a lot of times you do a lot of work trying to get 3 votes. And then sometimes it doesn't go the way that we as a community feel like it should have gone. And it's like, man, like we need to start putting this energy to become one of the 3 votes.
All right.
You know what I mean? And so like for me, I knew that this became part of my purpose. It became part of my journey. Maybe about like being at Libby, man, like almost like 10 years ago, I was like, okay, this is something that I'm gonna pursue.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, man, I filed. I'm running for District 3 in 2024, which goes from South O, through Fire Mountain, down Vista Way, the MiraCosta area, Tri-City, all the way to Lake Boulevard Canyon, you know what I mean, like towards the edge. So like the district touches Vista, it touches Carlsbad, but it's Tri-City is the heart of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think one of the things that fuels me the most is that like I look at Tri-City as the heart of District 3, but Tri-City is the area that gets forgotten about in District 3 because it's sandwiched in between all so much, you know what I mean? So like I hope that me running will activate a lot of people from the neighborhood to want to get involved. And I won't be able to do it without MadStrange. I won't be able to do it without y'all. You know what I mean? So it's not me running. It's like us running. You know what I mean?
Part.
That's how I look at it, man.
We was talking about this, man.
And I'm running for District 3, man, but I'm doing it for Libby. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing it for the Valley. I'm doing it for the Mid. I'm doing it for Center Street. I'm doing it for so like I think about these neighborhoods and I hope that like people in those neighborhoods will look at it as like, damn, Jimmy could run. I remember Jimmy used to hang out here. Like, I could run too. You know what I mean? Why not? Yeah, so that's how I look at it. Hopefully you run for District 2. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I see it.
We was talking about this, you feel me? And with my whole little ism of like, I want to get some of these brown boys in positions of power, higher education. Like, I want to get these brown boys in higher education to take up these positions of power. With you doing that, that's like the perfect utopia society of what we're like. This whole struggle is for, man. It's to put people that look like us in these positions of power to be able to make these shots or call these shots and make shit shake the way that you feel me. I know you will. Like,
yeah, man.
That's major, man.
And it doesn't have to look
I'm
what
excited.
everybody thinks. That's why I always say it's like the MadStrange like way. You know what I'm saying? Like
MadStrange,
MadStrange, like being different
like that.
or pursuing this unconventional route to get to your dream.
That's the way.
You know what I'm saying? Because none of us took this conventional route like to get here, bro. You know what I mean? And so it's like and that's what makes it unique because I feel like that touches more people the mass really, man, like going this unconventional route is really like the Oceanside way, bro.
That's it.
Like none of us like took this like, you know, typical route that you see in other places. Man, we had to go through a lot of hardship.
That's how I approach the neighborhood. That's how I approach actually, you know, this non-conventional way. Because when you see peer mentors or gang activists, you know, they come in there with this whole like, okay, let's come in there professional and give it to them square bare business.
You know what I'm saying?
When they ain't even feeling that. You know what I'm saying? You got to come in the side door like, yo, I'm feeling that.
You feel me?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get on that level.
That's important,
and
too,
they're
for
like,
sure.
whoa, slow your, who are you? And then you approach them like, yo, man, I'm from that spot. I'm from that spot on the hill. I got this game, bro. Let's line it up.
Right.
You know? And with that, that's what they get attracted to. So that's my way of it's got to be MadStrange, bro.
Yeah.
Straight up. Because that's the way we're the black sheep. We're the kind of guys that
underdog vision,
Real quick, man, as we wrap up, I want to say thank you for allowing us to share this moment with you, bro, because it hasn't even been 24 hours, bro. I think it's been like 18 hours since like you've walked and you
got off that stage, bro.
And then the president of the school yesterday called you the star of the show. Ooh. You know what I'm saying? But I forget how you ended the speech, man. But I know you remember. Can you share that with us?
Yeah. You know, I did give an land acknowledgement in my in Hawaiian language, you know, so my lelo Hawaii. was on point, you know. I gave my jokes, you know. But my real message was to the community. I wanted to let them know that, yo, at 46 years old, it's never too late. It really isn't. Changing your social norms, getting into them uncomfortable places, and pushing through it is the real victory, bro, is really what it is. So at the end, I was just saying that I was grateful it was done, to be honest, and hearing the crowd laugh and you know, give me approval, like, go, yeah, and hearing that all over the place was good enough for me to know that I've reached the community, not just the students and hoping that they can just carry on, get that PhD, but really, man, for the community to say, yeah.
What was that last line he dropped, though?
I'm still thinking about don't stop, get it.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's what I dropped. Yeah, I dropped that. You know, I said, for my Spartans and those to come. That's what it was for the Spartan. You know, my Spartans and those to come. Don't stop, get it. Put a little O side in it and keep elevating. You know.
All I heard from behind me, bro, because I was recording, like, that's right.